I started lifting in like ninth grade. I had no real knowledge of it beforehand, and for PE class, we had to take, we had to choose a different, some kind of physical activity. It could have been, joining a sports team, doing some intramural sports, or joining a weightlifting class, and I wanted to do that. I was just like, oh, this sounds interesting, I'll just try that. So I tried it, and I really liked it. I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. It's challenging, but it's something to look forward to every day. So I did that a bunch. I think it was every day. It was like, I think it was my last period of the day, for both semesters. But I did that and really enjoyed it. And then I thought, oh, I want to keep doing this. So I got a gym membership at my local gym. And, it was always, I couldn't drive back then, so it was always just me asking my mom to drop me off, and I had a friend that I would go with after school. And this is still like, sophomore, junior year of high school, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I was kind of just using random machines, doing random movements. I didn't really have any kind of focus, but I knew that I enjoyed it, and I wanted to get better at it, and I wanted to look better, more importantly. So then senior year of high school rolls around, which is like, right when COVID is, well, no, it had been going on for a little bit then, but, people are still stuck at home, started working out at home. And then when college started, I became, I don't want to say dependent on the gym, but the gym became way more important to me because I was just, I wasn't in the best place mentally, and I was just, I ended up transferring schools, but I was unhappy there, and I decided to take a lot of that out on the gym. So I just, started doing a bunch of research, best routines for beginners. I started only going 3 days a week, usually at like 10 o'clock at night, which is never a good idea. And I didn't really track my nutrition, but it was a starting point. Excuse me. And I think that's when I started taking it seriously. And when I started noticing improvement, that's when I started committing. I'm like, okay, I want to start going 4 times a week, and then 5 times a week. And then I actually started taking my nutrition seriously, and I started, experimenting with creatine, which I've been off now for a little bit. And then when I got to Maryland, I started taking it really, really seriously. I'd go early in the morning. A few months ago, I did actually start seriously tracking my, some of my macros, mainly just protein, but just being disciplined with what I eat, how often I drink, that sort of thing. But it's sort of become, I don't want to say ingrained in my lifestyle, but I can't imagine not doing it now. It's just, I don't want to say it's part of who I am, but I can't imagine not doing it. It's just part of my routine. And if I miss a day, well, it affects my mood, and it just affects how I feel throughout the day. So I don't want to say I'm dependent on it, but it's really important to me, and I can't imagine not doing it.
Yeah, because I kind of feel like once you start doing it, you can't not do it, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, and no, I agree. I know when you go to the gym, you do any kind of physical exercise, you do cardio, you release endorphins, and you do feel good. And I know there's a bunch of memes about, how people deal with struggles like heartbreak or some kind of loss by going to the gym and just taking all their energy out in the gym. And I think that's appropriate. I mean, it's better to turn to something like the gym than, say, drugs or alcohol to cope with something like that. And I do think that it is a little played out at this point on Instagram, but in other apps. But I do think it's good that people are seeing it as kind of a healthy coping mechanism.
I think so too, because honestly, like you said, it's more important to do something that's for your physical health and your mental health than it is to hurt yourself by drinking or taking drugs.
Yeah, and I have friends that have done, all kinds of things on that spectrum, and whenever they do rely on the latter to cope with things, I've seen it firsthand. It doesn't end well. So just, the gym is usually the challenging choice, but it's the safe choice if you want to. You want some kind of, I don't want to say instant gratification, but you want something to make you feel better about yourself. So.
Yeah, because it's mostly used as an outlet, but also it does help with your mental health as well. but it also, I feel like, kind of makes you more creative in a sense, because like you're just like working your mind, and then once you're done like working out, I feel like then you can actually think for the rest of the day. You're not just like fogged.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's why I like doing it in the morning. And the nice thing about going to the gym for me is that when you're in the gym and you're kind of in the zone, nothing else outside of that really matters. All that matters is how good is my form. How many reps can I do? How much weight can I do? Nothing really outside of that matters. So it just sort of it. I don't want to say it makes you necessarily forget all your problems, but in the moment, all that matters is really what's at the gym, and that can be kind of refreshing if you have a lot of stuff on your mind. Like if you're a college student balancing work and studying and other stuff. I think it's just a nice break from, I don't want to say life, but it's a nice break from your daily challenges, I guess.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I guess when did you? I don't know if you talked about it already, but what was your sort of fitness journey like when you started?
So I started out in, I would say, about middle school, high school, doing soccer.
Okay.
So I was playing soccer for a bit, and then I decided to quit playing soccer, and then I was mostly just like running.
Mm-hmm.
And then from running, and then I went to the gym, but I would just do cardio and like a little bit of like the circuit stuff at Planet Fitness.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't really taking anything seriously. And then fast forward to when I moved over to Export, and I started actually weight training, which was pretty cool, and not just focusing on cardio, but I was still doing a lot of cardio. And then from Export, I moved on to One Life Fitness, and then I started doing powerlifting. And then right when I was like about to compete, COVID happened, and so I wasn't able to compete. And I was like peaked, ready to go, and then boom,
Yeah.
I wasn't able to compete. And then from there, like during COVID, I was mostly just walking, and then I got a little bit of home gym equipment, and then I was still kind of doing some type of exercise there, but I wasn't taking it as seriously. And then the gym started opening back up, and then I kind of just stopped powerlifting at that point, and then I just started focusing on weightlifting.
Mm-hmm.
And then I stopped doing cardio. And
Oh, you stopped, okay.
Yeah, so I stopped doing cardio, and I was like, I'm just gonna weight train, because Instagram had me under the thought that cardio isn't that good for you. Like, I don't know if you've seen that, where it's like, oh yeah, you don't really have to do cardio, you don't really have to train abs, like you could just weightlift and be fine. But then those are the same people that go to the gym for 2 hours and then lay on the couch for like the rest of the day. So then it's kind of like you're not really doing anything after going to the gym, so it's kind of like a bad habit to do. And that was kind of me at that point. And then I started reintroducing cardio. And either I would do like the Stairmaster, or I would just do incline walking.
Yeah, that's what I do now.
Yeah, focusing on at least getting 10 to 15 minutes before working out. But now, like, I'll do any form of cardio and make sure like I get in my steps outside of the gym. So incorporating fitness outside of the gym, I think, is important, and that's what I've learned throughout, like, I think the past like year, I would say.
No, I think you're right. I remember when I first got my Apple Watch, which was like, I think almost about 5 years ago at this point. I would make a point to fill my rings every single day, and I think it was like, I want to say, like the summer of, I don't know, 2019 or something. This would have been like, I think going into junior year of high school. I would make sure to fill them every single day. So, standing, working out, the movement ring. I remember I had the job I had back then. I was on my feet all the time, and I would get like, thousands and thousands of steps, and it was just really satisfying to fill the ring up. But the consequence of that is I was just busy with work, and I just didn't have. I hate to say it, but I didn't really have time to go to the gym. But that was mainly just me not making time for the gym. But you touched on something interesting about Instagram, and the internet now is just so oversaturated with fitness content, and it can be really hard for beginners to cipher through all of the stuff that's correct and all the stuff that's just flat out wrong. Because a lot of these people, I mean, we're not experts, but like some of these people are just, they're obviously on juice. They're obviously they have some sort of one size fits all thing that works for them and it's bound to work for other people. But like you said, oh, don't do cardio. They'll make these extreme generalizations, and then I think it does way more harm than good because it confuses people. It's like, oh, should I not be doing cardio at all? So I don't know. I think I try to avoid Instagram for many reasons, and I'm terrible at it. Even though I have the limit set on my phone, but just avoiding Instagram for fitness stuff is just I try to just, if I have a fitness question, I'll just spend like, I don't know, half an hour on the internet just looking at what I believe to be in the moment, credible sources. But
that's the thing with social media. It's very like two-sided because people just want to push what they're trying to get out there, which like could be like, oh yeah, don't do cardio, or it could be like, oh yeah, you're not supposed to weight train that much, you're supposed to balance things out, or you're not supposed to weight lift at all, or like there's a bunch of different things that people can push. But it's also like not only just fitness, but it's also food as well. Because if you look at these people's things, like intuitive eating was like the thing during COVID. Like I swear, like everyone's like, oh, you can't track your macros. That's like very toxic. Oh, that's not something you should be doing. And then like, now everyone's like, oh yeah, track your macros, but just track the protein. Don't track the carbs. Don't track the calories. Don't track the fat.
Okay.
It's like, what do you want?
To be fair, I'm very guilty of only tracking protein right now. Like that's all I track, and I know that's not good, but like for the past month and a half or so, that's all I've been tracking is just protein.
It's the same thing for me because like I was like, oh yeah, intuitive eating, but then I wasn't even eating enough protein. I was like, how do you intuitively eat and not like you only have a guesstimate of how much protein you're eating, you don't know how much you're eating. So it's very important to at least know. And then if you're like in a cut or in a bulk, then you kind of need to know what you're eating. You can't just intuitively eat. Like I think you do that during a meeting.
No, I think you're right. And my eating really changed just when I actually started tracking it. It was like, oh, I have not met this, I haven't met my protein goal for the day. And I don't, I think it shouldn't like dominate your life, but for me, it's in the back of my head. It's like, oh, I haven't eaten enough today. A few weeks ago, I was at a football game with my friends, and I'm like, guys, I'm gonna have to leave to go get some Chipotle because I haven't like had enough protein today. I'll see you guys later. So, just don't let it like totally get in the way of your life if you are gonna do it. I'm pretty neurotic about it myself, but sometimes I'll give myself a break. But I don't know. I think. I think at that point, what am I trying to say here? I guess just if you're gonna track it, just be diligent about it, but don't let it completely like change how you live your life for the worst. I mean,
because I think it's good to be mindful of what you're eating as well, but not to just let it be the only thing that you think about. Because like at that point, then it just becomes like an ED, and it's not really fun. But tracking your protein, hitting your protein goal, I feel like that's fine. Like making it like, I don't know, not like a game, but just like something of like accomplishment.
No, yeah. I mean, I used to track stuff on my my Fitness Pal, but I kind of hated it. So now I just do it old school. I just have a whiteboard where I just write stuff out on. So it's satisfying to like, write out the different numbers, and when I go to bed, then I did meet my goal for the day, and you can just cross it off. And I agree, it is kind of satisfying. It's sort of a meaningful accomplishment for the day, if you will.
Yeah, because it kind of goes back to what you were saying about like the rings as well. This post I saw the other day was talking about like, oh, Apple Watches are toxic because like you track your calories, how much calories you burn, and I was like, that's not true. Like I find it like rewarding when I close my rings, when I get my 10,000 steps. Like I'm not even looking at how many calories I burned. I'm straight up just closing my rings, getting my steps. Everything else is irrelevant. It's like it's like a mental mindset. Like I don't care how many calories I burn during leg day. I don't care like how many calories I burn on a walk. I just care that I'm closing my rings, getting my steps, That's it. But it's all like mindset, and people have like all these negative mindsets and then go into fitness and blame the fitness industry for their negative mindsets, like tracking macros, closing your rings on your Apple Watch. And it's like, it's not that bad, but people make it bad because they want to twist it to make it like a eating disorder or like, I don't know, like an exercise disorder. I don't know if that's like a thing, but I feel
No,
like,
I think
oh, sorry.
no, I think that's a good point. I think a lot of it is just like when you start out doing fitness, you have to, and you take it seriously, you do have to make a lot of changes. And when you start making those changes, it can be quite uncomfortable, and you come to the realization it's like, oh, if I really want to do this, if I want to get the most out of it, I have to make substantial changes, whether it's going to bed earlier so I can get up early and go to the gym 5 days a week, making time throughout the day to do, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours of, I don't know, weight training or cardio, whatever you want to do. Changing what groceries you buy just to fit your diet. I think, you do have to make changes, and understandably, some people might not be comfortable with that, but, you have to, if you want to. It's like with anything in life. If you have a goal, and you're serious about it, you're going to have to make substantial changes to the way you live to get to it. So I think a lot of it is just people not wanting to admit that, but that's just how I see it.
Yeah, and I feel like also those people, like, it's no shade at all to them, but I feel like they're not training hard enough in the gym to begin with. Like, they're not pushing their limits, they're not going to failure. Like, they're eating mid, they're working out mid, they're not, like, trying, and then they blame everything else for them not seeing those results. But, like, if they got more sleep, if they ate more protein, if they trained a little bit harder, they would see those results. But like you said, it's all about making those changes, and people don't want to make changes. But they want to be like, oh, I go to the gym, I'm healthy, but eat garbage, don't train hard enough. Like, they don't get any sleep either, drink alcohol, take drugs. Like, they're not trying.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, and you start to wonder, like, you see people like that. They go to the gym, but they still have other, terrible habits, like, drinking a shit ton of alcohol, eating garbage, getting like 5 hours of sleep a night. And it's like, why are you going to the gym? Because it's sort of, everything else you're doing outside of it is counterintuitive. That's not going to help you, get stronger or look better or get whatever you want to get out of the gym. So it's like, simply deciding, oh, I'm going to go to the gym is not enough. You have to make other changes outside, to your eating and your sleep. So it's not just a one-sided thing where just going to the gym on its own is enough. Consistently going to the gym every day, or however many days you decide you want to go, doing that consistently, that's a step in the right direction. But if that's all you do and you don't change anything else, well then, what do you expect to happen?
Right, because like not like everyone's training to be like Mr. Olympia or anything, but it's very important because if you eat clean, you have a better workout. Like, I can definitely vouch for that, saying, like, if I have, like, any type of, like, junk food, and then I go to the gym the next morning, try to run, like, my stomach is trash. Like, I can't even run properly. I feel like throwing up. So, like, I can definitely vouch for saying, like, you have to eat clean if you want to have a good workout. And then not only just, like, running or, like, cardio-wise, but, like, even lifting. Like, I can't even lift that well because I feel, like, disgusting. Like, I don't feel like I can, like, go to, like, my limit that I want to do, or like the amount of reps, because then I feel sluggish. I'm all for like being whatever, like you can eat whatever you want to eat, but it's definitely mindful eating. I think is more important. Just like not eating super greasy stuff or like super trashy processed food.
No, I think you're right.
I think is important.
Yeah, and everybody says everything in moderation is good, and I agree, because you don't want to over restrict yourself, because then you can start. That's not necessarily fun, and I don't think it's the healthiest thing. Like, a few days ago, I was really craving a milkshake because I hadn't had one in forever, and I'm like, I had narrowed it down to like 2 places that I was going to go to get one, and I was looking at the. I looked at the websites online and was looking at the different nutrition and felt like, oh, which one has less calories, and I'm like, why am I doing this? I should just go and get the milkshake. And I was like. I debated for like 20 minutes, like, should I really should I really go do this? And I ended up getting it, and it was good, but it was just, and I was expecting to feel pretty guilty afterwards, and I didn't. But I think that just goes to show, you know, you shouldn't over restrict yourself. You know, you can allow yourself to have a cheat day if you need to. I mean, but going back to your point, yeah, I also try to avoid, you know, a bunch of, you know, overly processed stuff. You know, I will say I do eat a lot of takeout, which is an expensive habit. You know, I'm not like, you know, McDonald's and stuff like that. But you know, just, you know, Cava, Chipotle. But you know, if you're cooking for yourself and you can see exactly what you're putting into your food, well, then I think it's a lot easier to just eat clean, and it's cheaper
Yeah,
too.
for sure. For
Yeah.
sure, because I feel like honestly, it is easier to like meal prep your food and like know what's going into your food. But it's all like again like about making sure like you can still like eat out, but just have like a good mindset about it and just make sure you're eating your protein because you can definitely like go get like Peruvian chicken or like you can go and like I don't know maybe eat a burger, but like don't feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Just make sure like you're eating something with like a good amount of protein in it.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, and just sort of allowing yourself to occasionally have that little bit of freedom is healthy. I mean, I remember I used to be super neurotic about it. You know, my parents we'd go out to eat and like, Christian, why aren't you eating this and such? I'm like, oh, I just don't feel like it, and I didn't really want to admit why I wasn't doing it. And now I just sort of like. I just take ownership for it. It's like, hey, I just don't feel like eating that, or I don't want to eat that because. But you know, just again, this goes back to you know, not letting it get. Just don't let it, you know, don't let it dominate how you live your day or sort of live your life or go about your day, because then it's going to become unpleasant. And you know, the whole thing is going to be unpleasant at first, but you don't want it to be unpleasant in the long run. So just make small changes. You don't have to like completely. I mean, in some cases maybe you do, but normally you don't need to completely overhaul your diet. Just make small changes, and you should probably see a big difference.
Right, and then if like you can't even do that, like just like the bare minimum is just like cooking enough protein, eating enough protein, and then from there like you can cut out like other processed stuff or whatever the case may be. But I think like that's definitely like the first step is just at least getting enough protein.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. You know, I eat a lot of. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this, but a lot of chicken, a lot of salmon, which I would eat more of, but it's just you know, chicken's easier usually. I
It's
tried.
the most like least expensive protein out
It
there, and
is.
that's the ground beef.
And I remember I talked about this with you briefly, but I tried the whole ground beef and rice thing. I hated it. I had it once. I'm like, this is ass. I can't do this. I mean, to be fair, I didn't really add any spices, but and I'm sure I was just using shitty beef. But I just thought I'm just gonna stick to chicken. I can't. This is terrible. But yeah.
Yeah, because it's all about like how you cook it and like where you're sourcing it from as well. Like I kind of feel like grass-fed, grass-finished beef is probably gonna taste a little bit better than like grain-fed, grain-finished beef.
I'm sure if I use some of the beef, I'm sure if I use some of the beef that our certain friend gets from a certain farm, it would have been a lot better. But this was just some shitty beef from I don't know where. So you know, I should know what to expect. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta be like mindful of like the food that you're getting, but you can
Yeah.
definitely buy it in bulk too. So it makes it less expensive when you buy it in bulk because even then you can just like do like the grass-fed, grass-finished beef and it costs about like $10. It's maybe like what, like $4, $3 more, but it tastes so much better and
You know,
you'll enjoy it a lot more.
I should just start buying meat like that and putting it in the freezer, you know, buying it in bulk. But these past couple of weeks, I'll buy something, I'll forget about it, and then I'll take it, let's cook it. It's like, oh, why does this look like shit? Oh, it's because it's been in the fridge for a week and I forgot to freeze it. So, you know, just that's another thing
Yeah.
to think about, you know. Yeah, just forgetting. So,
Like as soon as I'm done grocery shopping, like all my stuff that I'm not about to cook goes straight to the freezer because I'm gonna forget about it. And then like
yeah.
I'll pull it out the freezer, defrost it, and cook it. Whether that's like grilling or like putting it in the Dutch oven. Oh, but speaking of Dutch ovens, like
Yeah.
if you get like a good like chuck roast or like a good pot roast or whatever, just throw
Yeah.
it in a Dutch oven for like a couple hours. You got food for like the week. and it tastes
Yeah,
so good because it's slow cooked.
I've just been using the oven for just a lot more stuff, just because it's super easy. You don't have to do anything. You just, everybody knows how it works. But I mean, I've just been doing that instead of like, I mean, I know my roommates have an air fryer that I've never used. I mean, do you have an air fryer? You do, right?
Yeah, I do my potatoes for my meal prep in there. So
Okay.
like I'll cut up some potatoes and then I'll do a little bit of olive oil, some salt and pepper. Throw it in the air fryer like 25 minutes, and it's a super good side for like anything. Like it could be chicken, potatoes, whatever. Sorry,
Yeah, I've
chicken.
had the ones that you bring to lunch. They're good. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So the air fryer is definitely the move. And then obviously you can throw salmon in there. You can throw whatever in there. Like I feel like it's really good, but also like the oven's just super easy too. You just throw it in
Yeah.
there, bake it, and then pull it out. Like there's no cleanup, there's nothing. It's just
Yeah,
simple.
it's easy, and that's just why I do it. I mean, sure, it takes a little longer, but it's just easier, so that's why I do it.
Yeah, because I feel like an air fryer is just a faster version of an oven, but you have to clean it up, right?
No, and I think you're right about that. Did you want to talk about pre-workout? I think we talked about that a little bit
Oh
beforehand.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So I cut pre-workout out because it used to make me so itchy.
So when
And
did you
then
when did you start using pre-workout? Like when did you first try it?
when I was going to Planet Fitness, so like when I was like first like starting to go to the gym, so I took C4,
Okay,
and
that's what I took too. It was terrible. It was really bad. I'll let you tell your story first. I'll tell mine after that.
okay, so like with C4, it made me super like crazy. I feel like I wouldn't have a good workout. Another thing too is I was taking pre-workout and I wasn't even like working out that hard either. So I was like, why am I even taking pre-workout? But whatever, like it's like stuff you learn after the fact. But I would get so itchy. I would be like crazy. Like I just feel like mentally, like I didn't feel like I should be like this hyper off of like a drink. And then I switched to different pre-workouts, but I found out that the beta, is it the beta alanine?
Beta-alanine, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
what
gives you the
makes you like
itchies.
super itchy.
Yeah.
And then I try to find stuff without it because like I just like it would literally like make me like itch in the gym, and I would look like a crackhead in the gym. Like I'm over here
Yeah.
like super itchy, like trying to like scratch. So I'm over here doing this because like I couldn't like not itch. And then I found a couple good ones, but then I started to realize I should probably like prioritize my heart health
That's
and
probably a
not.
good idea.
But then again, like I was taking pre-workout, I was drinking energy drinks. I wasn't doing like the best.
Oh,
Yeah, and now I realize I was like, that's not good. But then the Alani new energy drinks were pretty good as pre-workout, so I was taking those,
uh-huh.
or like a Monster as pre-workout. But then I switched over to honey as just pre-workout.
Oh man, bro! A few months ago, I was at the rec center at my school, and I just saw a dude in his locker just squirting a jar of honey like into his mouth. I'm like, what are you doing? But then I remember, oh, it probably is like a natural pre-workout. But
Yeah, because it's like just instant carbs and instant
yeah,
sugar, and it gets you like a
yeah.
really good pump too. If you're like drinking like some type of like electrolytes with it, it just gets you like a super good pump.
Apparently, what else gives you something else that gives you a good pump is pickle juice. I've never
I've
tried that,
heard
but yeah,
because it's
one of our colleagues said, oh yeah, drink pickle juice because that'll give you a good pump.
yeah,
But
because people do like a pre-workout snack like pickles.
yeah, and so for me with pre-workout, I was I remember I went into it doing like absolutely zero research, and I am not like a big caffeine person. I drink. I mean, I have a coffee next to me now, but I don't drink caffeine unless I'm like super tired, and then I'll occasionally pick up like a coffee or a Red Bull or something. But I was in line at CVS to pick up a prescription, and I'm like, oh, C4. I'll just blindly pay $38 for that. I'll just get that. So I started off with one scoop, didn't feel anything, and I waited an hour before working out to take it. And then I started taking two scoops, and I thought, oh my, I feel like complete shit. My heart is just pounding out of my chest. getting kind of itchy, and it wasn't pleasant. I remember the first time I did like a serious leg day with pre-workout, and it felt terrible. And I was talking to one of my friends about it, and she was like, "Hey, you should try." What was it called? It was like a different version of Bucked Up. Oh yeah, Woke AF. So I tried that. Just started using one scoop. I think it was like 350 milligrams of caffeine, which is still a lot. But I started using that. Taking it like 15 minutes before workout, and I actually really enjoyed it. I'm not necessarily sure if it helped give me a better workout, but I definitely felt better at the gym. Just more amped up. I'm not sure. I wasn't paying close enough attention to tell whether or not I had better strength or endurance, but I just liked how it made me feel. So I started taking that a lot, and then eventually I tried Rise because one of my other friends tried to put me on that. Didn't like that. Went back to Bucked Up, and then I decided, okay, I want to say I've been taking it for like, I don't know, maybe half a year now, and my tolerance has gotten way too high. Like I remember I would take, I think maybe 2 scoops of Bucked Up or something, and I wouldn't feel anything. And then I bought Wrecked, and I thought, okay, I'm not feeling anything from this either. So for October, I'm doing no pre-workout at all. And I was expecting to have a terrible withdrawal, but I'm really not. But I do definitely kind of miss it. I haven't really noticed any negative changes in my workout, but I do definitely miss it. So I am excited for November to roll around and I can get back on it.
Yeah. And besides pre-workout, do you take any other types of supplements?
I have some creatine, which I've been kind of on and off about. I need to be more disciplined with taking it every single day. I remember I don't know enough about cycling on and off of creatine. I think I read somewhere, take it for like 8 weeks, start again. I need to do way more research on how to properly cycle it. But I remember the first time I did it, I think it was 2 years ago, freshman year of college. I remember I did do the instructed loading phase where you take like 20 milligrams a day, 1 scoop, glass of water, a couple hours later, do it again. And I did like that, but I remember I put on a lot of water weight. But I think eventually I need to just get some more and just stick to it. Do you?
Yeah, I take creatine. I put it in my
Okay.
protein in the morning. So I do like
Oh,
one and
nice.
a half scoops of protein with a scoop of creatine. And then that's about like all the supplements I take. And then obviously like electrolytes when I work out. So I use this brand called Element, which is just straight up salt. So I'm just drinking salt water for like
Nice.
half my workout.
Very good.
And
Very
then
good.
from there, like I drink like regular water. But it definitely helps like post like running or like definitely during a workout. And then plus you get like that crazy pump from the sodium too.
And speaking of protein powder, what's the stuff that I just finished another tub of it. I forget what it's called. Bio something. It's like the berry flavored one that you gave me some of it to try. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah,
What's
the
that? What's
clear
that
whey.
called? Yeah. I've been using that, which is like 20 milligrams of protein a scoop. I've been using that. I really like that stuff a lot. I wish I had. I wish I could. I really like it. And what I used to do was I would get like chocolate flavored protein powder, make my own shakes in the blender, which was really good. I did that a lot freshman year of college. Like I was like, oh, the dining hall sucks ass so much. I'm just gonna make a bunch of these, and I would have like sometimes 2 a day. But then I just decided, oh, fucking fire department. Then I'll just try the clear way, and I really like it, but I go through it quickly. So, might be time to go back to the vitamin shop and get some
That's
more.
the thing. They don't sell it in like huge containers.
No, they don't.
Like
They don't.
sometimes they sell in like small containers. Right.
They don't even fill them up like
tub.
they fill them up to like
don't.
not even half. It's terrible. Yeah, it's terrible.
And then
I
you're
agree.
paying $50 for a pound, and it's not really like
Yeah.
a whole tub.
Yeah, you got to just buy it in bulk, I bet. And I don't know. I mean, supplements are just so expensive. If you have to, I don't know. At the end of the day, I think if you don't want to spend a bunch of money on them, it's totally not the end of the world. Just don't. Just, if you don't want to spend the money on it, then don't. I mean, unless you think you absolutely have to, which you probably don't.
No
But
one
yeah.
necessarily needs to take supplements. However, they're there to supplement in the aspect of the word. It's there to help you get to your next level, but you don't necessarily need it. Like, you can definitely just straight up eat protein because the protein has creatine in it. Like, most meat has creatine. You're
Yeah.
not getting extra creatine, but you're getting creatine, you're getting protein. But taking additional protein and taking additional creatine is going to make you build that muscle that people are looking for, you know?
No, I agree. I think it's always funny when people, their parents have a reaction like, "Oh my God, creatine. What's next? Tren?" And it's like, no, creatine is like the most researched, safest supplement on the market. You're not going to lose your hair. You're not going to your balls aren't going to drop off. You don't. There's not like some sort of catastrophic effect from it. Just follow the
Yeah.
instructions.
Like
Yeah.
literally, like as long as you take like 1 to 2 scoops a day, like nothing bad's gonna happen. It's only
Yeah.
gonna help you build muscle.
Yeah, I had some friends that took it before. I'm like, oh, tell me about it. I'm like, oh, just I take 5 to 10 milligrams a day. I think 5 is what I was taking last time that I was on it, but I need to just buy some more and just stay on it because I think I am pretty lean at the moment, so I do need to take some more of it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've definitely noticed a difference. Because, like, so back when I first started going to the gym, I used to take creatine pills, and I wasn't even
Hmm.
working out hard enough to be taking creatine. Like, what was I doing? I don't even
Oh,
know.
you're breaking up here.
So then I was like, okay, like, I'm gonna, like, start taking it now that, like, I've been, like, working out pretty seriously and,
Hmm.
like, just doing weightlifting. And I've noticed a difference within a month, like, the amount of, like, actual muscle that's there just from
Hmm.
taking the creatine. Like, it's crazy.
So you,
Like I
you
never
you
thought that
take
like my
pills, right?
biceps would be as big as they are. Right now, no. Like I just do like powder. But before I was taking the pill. And like pre-COVID, creatine used to be super cheap.
Yeah.
Like I hate to be like that old person, but like back in my day, creatine
Yeah, yeah,
was cheap.
yeah. No, I get it. I might try the pills because the problem is I forget to take the powder. So, I mean, I have other pills in the morning I take, so I might just put creatine pills in my pillowcase and just take it as soon as I wake up. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how expensive the capsules are, but I might need to just look into that, try it, see what it's like.
Yeah, you can definitely find them on Amazon.
Hmm.
But I've been just putting like the scoop into my protein and it
Yeah.
dissolves so well that you don't even like taste it. Because to me, like creatine tastes like crushed up Tylenol pills.
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah.
I like don't even try to like drink it
Hmm.
like that. But the one that I got just dissolves very well into the protein powder. So it
Hmm.
just tastes like you're drinking juice, one, with the protein powder, and then two, like you don't even taste the creatine.
Yeah, I
Like
think
all
that
around it works very well.
there were a few times where I would just mix it with my pre-workout. I'm probably just gonna go back to doing that. So, yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely do that because as long as it dissolves well, I think that's all that matters. So you don't have to have like that taste of Tylenol pills.
No, yeah. I,
Yeah.
I, I definitely agree with that. It's probably a good way to just get both of them in at the same time. So,
Yeah. And then besides that, like I used to take multivitamins, and then I stopped taking multivitamins because
mm,
I get like most of my nutrition from my food. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I don't really take any vitamins. I mean, I take some vitamin D supplements, but I mean, that's kind of it. I mean, that's really it, and that's more of a thing I do in the winter. When there's not as much natural light outside. But yeah, supplements. I haven't really dabbled in that much. I joke a lot about hopping on trend, but I mean, I would never do it because it just destroys your body.
Yeah,
So
I don't know why people would like do it in the first place. Because I'm like, dude, like you're just gonna ruin your health.
yeah, and you are cheating. I mean, unless you're like a natural bodybuilder and you've reached like the limits of what you can do without any supplements, and you want to compete. Okay, sure, knock yourself out. But I mean, for your average person who just enjoys working out as like a hobby, or they just just don't. I mean, I don't. I mean, I wouldn't
Oh
unless
no,
you're
like I
yeah.
totally understand because it's like unless you're like an IBP, like what is it, IBF Pro or whatever. Like if you're like over here like C-Bomb, for instance, Mr. Olympia, or like Greg Douche, like those people, like that's all they do for a living. Like they just work out. Their body is their money, and like that's it. Like they kind of have to pull up their physique to like, make their money. But if like you said, like if you just do it like as a hobby and you're
No.
not getting paid to look good, then it's like, do you really need to like affect your health, right?
And speaking of sebum, that reminded me of something. Have you done any cold therapy at all, like ice baths or cold showers? Because that's really popular right now. You'll see
I
people
have
like
yet
Joe
to
Rogan
do
doing it.
Yeah, I have yet to do it because it looks scary to me because I shower in like the hottest possible shower possible. Like it goes all the way up. Like I'm showering on inferno temperatures.
So I had a brief period last year where I was really good about taking like I would only take cold showers every day, and I was really good about that. I don't know why I fell off of it, but I think about a week ago, and there's a ton of data out there about the benefits of cold therapy. Helps you recover faster. Reduces delayed onset muscle soreness. It's better for your mental health. Yada yada yada. But I did take an ice bath for the first time about a week ago, and it was good. It sucks at first, but I just set a timer for like 10 minutes, put on some music. It's pretty chill. But I definitely want to do more of that.
You know what it just reminded me of? Do you remember like back in like I don't know, say like 2014, where people did the the ice challenge, the ice
Yeah.
challenge?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, I remember that. That was 10 years ago, if you can believe that.
Yeah, I dumped
Wow.
a bucket of ice on my head. That's about as much cold therapy as I've done. Yeah. Like I'm literally such a fan of like hot baths, like hot showers, hot tubs, anything hot.
I've always been interested in the. I don't really follow him, but I've seen Rogan do this thing where he does hot and cold therapy, where he'll go in the sauna and then immediately after that go in the ice bath. I don't know
Oh, I've
anything
seen
about
him
it,
do
but I'm
that. Yeah.
yeah, but I'm
I don't
definitely
know how
intrigued
that
by
works,
it.
'cause I think it
I don't
shocks the
either.
body, doesn't it?
I think so. Yeah. Again, I'm no expert. I have no idea what the benefits of that particular strategy are. But I would be interested to try that. I started. I know our rec center has what's the word? A sauna and a steam room that I've never used, but the gym I would use at home that does have a steam room and a sauna, and I really enjoy using those. Does your gym have those facilities or no?
No, like my gym is so like I don't know if I could say like the word grunge, but I would feel like it's very like not outdated. It's just very like raw because it's just like a bunch of like leg machines, it's a bunch of like upper body things, a bunch of dumbbells, a bunch of
Yeah, it's old
tires.
school. Yeah,
Right,
that's
it's very
cool.
old school. Yeah, so the only thing they have in there is like a bathroom and one shower. That's it. Like there's no extra facilities. Cause like when I went to One Life, it had like all these things. It had a sauna, it had a pool, it had a basketball court. Did I use it? No.
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 Yeah, the One Life that I go to, and I'm not going to give the exact location because I don't want
Of course.
to,
You don't want dogs
but
yourself.
no. But I didn't realize just how that I'm paying way too much for a gym with all these facilities that I just don't use. I don't use the basketball court. I don't use the pool. I don't use the tennis court. And there's another One Life maybe, I don't know, like 5 miles away that is half the price for the month. So I'm just gonna do that. But I think out of I've only been a member of, I want to say, 1, 2, 3 gyms. I mean, One Life used to be Sport and Health, and now it's I think under new
Oh, yeah.
ownership. Yeah. But I did briefly go to Planet Fitness, which I fucking hated.
I think everyone, like every like true gym person starts out at
Yeah,
Planet Fitness.
it's a
Like
canon
that's
event, as they say. Yeah, it's a canon event. Yeah, I
you gotta
hated it. I
start out
remember
there.
I would go. I would go. I remember I went. I think last winter break, I got like a membership there because it was $10. I'm like, whatever. And I would go after work, and it was always crowded. There were no. All they had were Smith machines. They had like maybe 2 sets of dumbbells that went up to like 50 pounds. I'm like, this is a joke.
Oh my God!
What's
And did
the
you
point of this?
accidentally drop a dumbbell, you get that lunker alarm or whatever.
So is that I've always
Right.
joked about going in there with some friends and just setting it off on purpose just for the hell of it. But do they? Have you ever seen it go off? I've never seen it go off. I mean, in
Yes.
videos, sure. Like in person,
Yeah, it's like
nice,
stupid. Like you accidentally drop the dumbbell and then like all of a
nice.
sudden, ow.
I hate that. It's like don't be soft. It's a gym. It's not a library.
Oh
If you want
yeah.
quiet, just. Of course,
And you're
people are going
not
to be
allowed to
grunting.
like grunt either. You're not
Oh
allowed to
my
like
god.
do any of that. And I remember mine, like when I went there, they used to like say like, oh yeah, girls can't like take their shirts off. Like they gotta wear like cover up clothes. Guys can't take off their shirts. Guys can't wear muscle tees. And then like I go to my gym and I'm like, yo, people just wear whatever they want to wear. No one's stopping them. Like guys are in there shirtless.
Your gym sounds interesting to me. I need to see this place. What's it called again?
The shop.
Is it a chain or is it just a one thing?
So there's two now, and I think they're opening a third one in Florida, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I've seen on Instagram. So I'm not trying to
Okay.
spread propaganda, but that's what I've seen.
Nice.
But yeah, there's one where I live, and then there's the one in Ashburn.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in that. I mean, I'm not a fan of all these, super posh gyms with all this, all these conveniences that nobody
Oh,
uses. I mean, I
yeah.
don't know.
Like
I
Equinox.
just,
Who's paying
yeah.
$300 a month to go to Equinox?
Is that really how much it is? Wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy. I don't know.
And then for like not even like half the price, even less than that, you can like go to like a regular gym and get the same workout. But
Yeah.
I think people go to Equinox if they're not gym people, they're just like class people. Cause like I think with the $300 a month, don't you like get the smoothie bar and all that included?
I have no clue. I don't know anything about Equinox.
I don't know. Not trying to spread propaganda. That's just what I heard.
Honestly, I mean, I think out of all the gyms that I've been to, my favorite is just the one at Maryland. It's a really solid gym. I mean, it is nowhere near as big as it should be for a school with like 40,000 undergraduates, but it's a nice gym. I mean, of course, everything's broken all the time, but it's just a good gym. And I mean, over the summer, I think it was like a $60 membership. I'm like, for the entire summer, it's like, oh, I'll do that. In retrospect, I should have just done that and commuted to the gym, and instead of paying $240 for a 3-month student membership at One Life. So yeah, again, I'm not going to
That's
say which One
crazy.
Life, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I think also going to One Life, like, you progress from Planet Fitness to One Life. That's another canon of that.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
No, yeah, Planet Fitness is oh god, dude, I couldn't stand it. I mean, I will say it's nice that there is such a huge national chain that, let's say you're, I don't know, you're on vacation or something, you're on a business trip, and you're like, oh, I want to go to the gym. Oh, there's Planet Fitness. I'll just cop a free day pass. That is pretty nice. But like for like a long term gym membership, Planet Fitness, if you can afford to go somewhere better, it's just not. It's just not the move. That's just my opinion.
You're right. Because I mean, it's only good in the sense that it's convenient and there's a bunch of them. But in terms of like canceling there, you have to go to your home gym, the one that you like signed up at, which is so dumb. And then the other thing is like, it's just like there's not enough there. Like I
No.
never realized that, but like they have like 90% like cardio machines, and then they have like a circuit.
Yeah, I just
Do
it's not
much.
enough. Yeah.
No. But like definitely I would say export was pretty good, but because it was 24 hours and it's like one of the few
That's cool.
24 hours in the area, like it was so overpopulated even at like 1 in the morning. Because I remember I did that one time because I was like, yo, I can't go after work, it's too busy. 1 in the morning, it's packed. Just because
Yeah,
it's 24 hours.
I'm not sure if all Planet Fitnesses are like that, but I have a bunch of friends that will just they'll just grab like a 1 month membership at Planet Fitness for like winter break, and they would go at like 2 in the morning. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing at the gym at 2 in the morning? I mean, I couldn't. I remember freshman year, I would sometimes end as late as 11:30 at the gym. I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? I'm just gonna go earlier. I mean, unless you have a packed schedule and that's all you can manage to do, sure. But I think I have some friends that also do it ironically. But like, why would you go to the gym at 2 in the morning? I just don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, the only way like I understand it is if like it's too busy at the gym and you're trying to go like off peak hours, but
Hmm.
with export, peak hours was 24/7. Like there was no off peak
Hmm.
hours at that gym.
Yeah.
And that's why I had to switch because I was like, I can't do any exercises comfortably because like there's too many people like in the
Hmm.
same zone like as you.
Yeah.
But I would say it was pretty cool like going there because it was like 3 floors and
Hmm.
like you got like a nice little view of the street.
Yeah.
It's like I was telling one of our coworkers about like how I stare at a black wall when I run. So like I
Nice.
get like all these intrusive thoughts when I'm running, and
Oh
I'm
no.
staring at nothing but a black wall.
When I'm on the treadmill, what I do is I do whatever people do is just I cover up how much time it says is left with a towel, and I'll just have some car video on my phone, maybe one that I've seen like a billion times, just playing there. That's the only way I can make it tolerable. I mean, if I do outdoor cardio, that's more interesting. But if it's indoor cardio, I need some kind of distraction. So
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I'm over here like, how have I only been running for 5 minutes?
yeah, I
Like it
know.
feels so much longer because I'm staring at this black wall.
Yeah. And another thing is I need to get new I need to get new gym shoes because I've been using the same pair for like 2 years and they have no tread on them. I'm like, why do I have knee pain all of a sudden? Oh, it's because my shoes are just destroyed. So,
Oh
shoes are an
yeah,
important
like
part of
I've
that.
been loving the Clifton Nines for running. Like those are like top tier shoes. Like I
Mm.
understand the hype. Like I see all these people in the area that we go to. Not saying
Mhm.
where, but you know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about.
Oh
Like
yeah.
all you
Yeah.
see
Yep.
are these Clifton
Yeah.
Nines everywhere, and I'm
I
like,
know.
how are these like these shoes for like the dads? But I've
Yeah.
been
I
in my
know.
dad shoe era. Like I got the New Balances, I got these Clifton Nines, I got these Skechers. Like I
Oh
like
man.
completely took Vans out of my wardrobe because they caused me so much foot pain. And
Uh.
let me tell you about Converse. Like I thought Converse were like the shoes because everyone's like, "Oh yeah, they're good leg day shoes because they're flat." And let me tell you something. Like, okay, they're flat, but you want to know something? I can train in
Mhm.
Crocs. I can train in like these New Balances with like elevated feet and like have no problem reaching depth in my squat, like being able to do my split squats, any of that. So like it's just I don't know, I feel like it's a misconception when it comes to like gym stuff, but those Converse like tore up my heels. Like the
Mm.
back of my like heel was bleeding one time from like doing like walking lunges, and I was like, why am I bleeding?
There are a few people that wear Crocs in our gym here. I mean, I sort of my mind cannot comprehend the idea of wearing Crocs at all. But that's just me. But I mean, if that floats your boat, hey, that whatever works for you. But I Crocs. I can't with Crocs.
It's funny you say that because there was one guy that came up to me one time and he was like, "How do you work out in Crocs?" Because he watched me
Yeah.
go from the Stairmaster to doing upper body like all in
Oh my
Crocs.
god. No,
He
I
was like,
can't. I can't with Crocs.
I don't know. It's all about having the dad shoe drip, you know what I'm saying? Like that's
I think
just
I
the
think if I remember
era.
correctly, roughly I don't know, almost 15 years ago, my dad he did wear New Balances. I think I haven't seen him wear them. I haven't seen him. I don't think I've seen him wear New Balances in like 10 years. But I don't know. I'll maybe I don't know. Not when I'm 20 years. I don't know. I'll probably buy a pair later down the line, but just not now.
Oh
I can't.
no. They are
Yeah.
so comfortable and then they also look really good too. Like the
Mm.
ones that I have, like they're the 2002 Rs. They're so
Hmm.
nice.
Nice.
Like I'm all for them, truthfully. Like dad shoe era is where it's at. Because not only is it like comfortable, but it's also not gonna get you any foot pain, and you can
Mm.
work out like comfortable too. Like, but also it makes your outfit look cool because like it's better than I don't know. Like I can't get with Nikes. Like there's just something about like Dunks or whatever. Like I just don't like
Hmm.
them.
No, it's funny you mentioned gym outfit. I did a lot of experimenting, and I think just my gym outfit is just like a tank top and sweatpants, and that's it. I mean, I do not. I never wear shorts to the gym just because I'm way too like not comfortable doing that. But I like no matter the temperature, I will always wear sweatpants to the gym, always, and a tank top. I briefly tried compression shirts out, but then I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna stick with a tank top. So that's in terms of gym fit. That's what I have, and just sneakers. So
Yeah, because
nothing too adventurous.
I really just like wear oversized t-shirts and leggings or like sweatpants with an oversized t-shirt. Like that's just my go-to fit. But it's just because like in my head I feel like I don't look as like good as like I think I do, if that makes sense. Because I think it all comes like body dysmorphia. Because like the
Oh yeah.
longer you go to the gym, I feel like you create this really bad body dysmorphia.
Oh my god, dude. Mine is I oh yeah, mine's not great. I try to just thug it out, as they say, but it sucks. Like, I mean, you think going to the gym. I remember vividly, like when I remember, I think it was 2 years ago. I remember I looked at myself in the mirror. This was before I started taking the gym seriously. I'm like, okay, this sucks. I hate this. I got to fix this. And 2 years now, I've made a bunch of changes. And I think if my previous self from 2 years ago could see me now, I'd be pretty thrilled. But now it's like, oh, this still sucks. I gotta do better. So yeah, it does not. I mean, I'm sure for some people it does, but for me at least, it has probably only gotten worse the more I've worked out.
I think it's
I don't know
the
about
same
you.
thing for me because like
Yeah.
truthfully like I can put on like all this muscle and I'm like okay but like in my head I don't feel like I look any better than how I did a
Oh
year
yeah.
ago.
No, I
I still
still think
feel
I
the
look
same.
like. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've put on like Jesus, like 20 pounds in the last 2 years, and I still think, oh, I just look like shit. And I'm not saying this to like create a pity party or anything at all, but I think a lot of people that go to the gym, they can relate to that somewhat, and it really sucks. And I think it's just something you have to work through personally or with friends, but or a therapist if you need to. But that's definitely the worst part about this entire thing. You do become kind of wrapped up in the way you look. Sometimes I don't even want to look at myself in the mirror. Like I'll look at like maybe after a pump, sure, but I mean, that's definitely the worst. I think the worst part about this entire thing. It's just the body dysmorphia that you get from it.
Yeah, because I mean, like that's like one like I think negative thing that comes from going to the gym is that
Yeah.
like you don't really see the results that people
No.
say like you get. Like other people can see it, but you don't really see it because you're always stuck with a negative image in your head. But I was listening to this one girl before, and she had like a really good point. Like she's just like, you can gaslight yourself, like in a positive way and be like, I got the nicest body, I got this, I got that. Like that's just like positive gaslighting until you physically believe it. And I was like, okay, she kind of has a point. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, like I got the biggest quads, I got the biggest biceps, whatever. Just keep gaslighting yourself until you believe it. Till like get rid of the body dysmorphia.
No, I think that's a good point. And I will say, like, I mean, I think other gym people can relate to this. But if somebody gives you a compliment, you remember that really really well. And I remember a few days ago, no, a few weeks ago actually, I decided to make myself feel better. Okay, I'm going to write down a list. I'm going to write the name of, whether it's a family member, friend, colleague of everybody that's. And I know this is going to sound kind of shallow, that has said something positive about the way I look, because I think I have changed quite a bit in the last 2 years, and a lot of people have told me that, and I wrote all the names down, and at the end it was 75 people, but I still think to myself, oh, I look like shit. But it's just something you have to work on. You can't. It sucks, but you just have to work on it.
So definitely like doing like gaslighting but in a positive sense
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
helps. Or just
that makes
like
sense.
telling yourself that you look good regardless of what you think you do. Because I mean like if people are saying like you're making progress, then obviously
That's
you
good.
have to have been making some progress, right?
Yeah, I mean, you are your own harshest critic. So, I mean, somebody that isn't you that gives you a different viewpoint. I mean, that's always great. That's always welcome.
Right, because even Seablum thinks he's like small, and like that man's huge. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like these
yeah.
people, like everyone suffers with like body dysmorphia. I feel like.
I think to a degree, yeah. I think you're right. I don't know a lot of my own personal friends that are totally secure in how they look, and I know that's really sad to say. I mean, I know the social media and the influx of influencers that probably use steroids but don't admit to it doesn't help with that. But you know, it's just, again, it's something you have to work. You have to work on it. You can't just suffer through it.
Right, but I also feel like people kind of use their body as a trend and not like an actual like thing, because like if you really think about like influencers, they all kind of look the same, unless like they compete in some type of like thing, whether that's like powerlifting or whether that's like bodybuilding. But like every like gym influencer kind of just looks the same. Like every Gymshark model looks the same. Like if you really like look at it that way, I kind of feel like they all like are like a trend in a sense. And then you have like Gymshark that'll like put like one different body out there, and then like everyone else looks the same. It's kind of like Nike doing the same thing too. Like they have one different body and then everyone else looks the same. But it's like, I mean, if you're just like going to be confident, just be confident in what you have. Because like honestly, like everyone only has like one body, so working towards making it better is obviously important. But also just kind of realizing you will never probably reach that end goal you're looking for going to the gym, because you can always work towards something else. Whether that's getting bigger biceps, bigger shoulders, a bigger back, whatever the case
I think it's
is.
an interesting point. I think, I mean, I think I can't speak to women's experiences, obviously, but I think what happens with a lot of dudes is when they go to the gym, they'll have this idea. Okay, I want to look like this person. You know, like a common trope is, oh, I want to look like Brad Pitt when he was in Fight Club, which is I think which I think is unobtainium unless you do an insane amount of dieting and cardio. But I think if you have like just one goal, you want to look like exactly just one thing, you're going to be disappointed. So I think like when you start out in the gym, you should just your whole goal should just be to get better step by step, not to achieve this one godlike physique in like a year, because it's going to take longer than that. You know, you should
Right.
just take steps to just get better. You shouldn't have one dream body in mind, because that's going to take a while. And if you don't, you know, it's going to take a while to get there. You just need to focus on getting better in smaller steps.
Right. Because like you said, it's like you'll never really like get there because you're achieving something that's not physically like obtainable unless you do it for multiple years. But people
Yeah.
think it's like an instant thing. And like speaking from like a woman's point of view, like you know how like most women are like, "Oh yeah, I'm not going to train upper body. I don't want to get bulky." Like, girl, it takes how long to build a back? Like, it takes how long to build shoulders? Like, they think they're gonna lift up one dumbbell and, like, be built like, I don't know, C-bum or something. But in reality, you don't get bulky whatsoever. Because you would think, like, if that were the case, I would probably look way different if that was true. Like I can't even progress past 25-pound dumbbells because like it's just like unobtainable for me. But I try to build shoulders like I try to build my back, but it's super hard. But it's easier to train legs. Like it's just I don't know.
No, I don't care what anybody says. I hate leg day, and I've started doing your like 2 day leg day routine. I still, and oh god, I hate training legs. I know that's a cliche, but I still can't stand it.
No, it's fine. Like I understand. Like I go through phases with the gym. Like sometimes I really love leg day, and then sometimes like I really like upper body day. Or like right now, like I've been like preferring to do like cardio before like I work out. Like I'll run a mile and then I'll start doing my workout. And then I realize like I feel a lot more of my muscles because like everything's warmed up. Like this is super random, but I ran a mile and then I did lat pull downs and then like I felt my lats like intensely. And I was like, how is this even possible?
Interesting.
Like I was just running, you know?
Yeah.
Because like just going from I guess because like everything's like warmed up and then you're just going to like different things and actually like working out. But another thing that I learned is like a different way of doing face pulls, which instead of pulling to your face, you pull like to your chest, and like
Oh,
you
interesting.
definitely like feel like your shoulders and like your back. and it just feels super good.
Yeah, I haven't done face pulls in a minute, but I'll try that. Cool, sounds good. Well, thank you for having me on. It was a great time. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, I'll talk to you later. All right,
Okay.
bye.
Bye.